special project. The Snot Rocket. Yes, that's what they call it. Motion Raceworks and Rife Sensors, they're presenting this car here, and they had the fastest time so far, a little over 219 miles an hour. We're putting on the 1-year DIY detail ceramic coating. See if we can get it above 220. Stay tuned.
So what do you put it on?
Well, 1-year ceramic coating, super easy to do, can be done even at the track, and gives it a nice slickness that hopefully we gain an extra half mile an hour or so to get them over 220. That's awesome. Even in direct sunlight, on the carbon fiber, not a problem.
Looks like you've been doing this for a while.
48 years.
Beginner.
Yeah, just starting. I'm still learning.
Right.
Actually, we're always still learning. That's good.
Wow. Hello, Yvan. How are you?
Good evening. Doing great. Yourself?
You know, I'm doing great. Just a little PSA. Conway, who was supposed to be on tonight, was not able to make it tonight. So thankfully, as always, Yvan saved the day. So I first and foremost want to again say thank you for coming on. I always appreciate your willingness to be so flexible when
My
things
pleasure.
happen. So, you know, that Snot Rocket was absolutely nuts. And I have to tell you right away, TX2K, I had never heard of it in my entire life. Okay. You guys, you know, started filming from there and I'm thinking, what is this place? But as I did research, I was reading that it's like the Super Bowl of racing events. So kind of talk to us a little bit about what this place is, what you were doing there, and what your final thoughts are.
Yeah, so Texas Motorplex is where it happens. It's TX2K, and it's racing, we'll say street racing. So all the vehicles that go on track have to have a license plate on them. Whether they're actually street legal, that
Yeah.
leaves a little to be desired.
Yes.
But at the same time, they all have functioning lights and all that fun stuff. So technically, they
Wow.
probably could be street legal. The Snot Rocket, they came to us in desperation to our booth because they celebrated the night before another milestone that they had, and that milestone when they did that, they had that confetti that's plastic, like silvery plastic, about a half inch by 2 inches long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that combined with champagne actually stains a wrap. So they were trying to, they had like a little porter cable polisher with a super soft foam pad. They're trying to polish these stains out. It just wasn't happening for them.
Wow.
So one of the crew members came over to our booth, asked, do you guys have something to help? So I'll go take a look. And so I went and took a look. And an hour and a half later, the car was washed, polished, and coated. So
Wow. And again, you saved the day there too.
no, I don't think I saved the day, but
Wow.
the car would have
and
gone
him,
just
I'm
as fast
sure you
without it.
did.
Yeah.
So that car, did I hear or read the comment right? Jamie said that it broke a record.
Yeah, broke a record, personal record, and I believe a world record. So the
Wow.
the track itself, it's an amazing place. They have about 40,000 people going there. It's a long event. So drag racing, I come from a dirt circle track background.
Me
which
too.
Means, yeah. So, you show up at 5, the racing starts at 7, and by 11 o'clock, you're back in the hall or heading home.
Yes.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
started on Monday and ended last night.
Yeah. That's crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
literal 5 days of, and are the same cars racing every day, or is there that
Yes.
many people in a circuit?
No, they're like in the class that the Snot Rocket is in. I think there was 8 cars there. So,
Wow.
but they go on the track maybe 2 times during the day. The rest of the time, it's hurry up and wait. So,
Wow.
I equate drag racing to something like going to Disneyland or Disney World, where you stand in line for 3.5 hours to get on a ride, and then you do the ride for 2 minutes, and then you're back to standing in line for 3.5 hours somewhere else.
Yeah.
These people wait around to do 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
but
That's
it's a lot
insane.
of fun though. Yeah.
Yeah. For some of you who are just joining, and I see you asking, where's Conway once again? Conway, unfortunately, was not able to be here tonight. So we have Mr. Yvan Lacroix, who graciously offered to come on in his place and talk about, again, this event. Now, and maybe it's me and I just kind of missed it. Is this an event that you and Jamie, the House of Rags, have been planning? Did you guys know you were going to this, or how did this event even come up for you to attend?
Yeah, this year, DIY Detail and the House of Rags, we're trying to get a different exposure. So outside of the detailing industry,
Yeah.
we've done what we can within the detailing industry. Let's go outside the detailing industry. So we planned 2 events like this year. One is TX2K, and the other one is the Oshkosh Air Festival in Wisconsin.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
coming up in July. So we'll be there, and the Oshkosh thing is like, again, something that a lot of people have never heard of, but if you're into aviation, you know exactly what Oshkosh is.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, like people fly in with their little, no, I say little planes, but Cessnas, things like that.
Okay.
They fly in with their planes and they call it a flying camp. So basically, they pitch a tent under the wing of their plane and they're there for the event. So there's air shows, there's demonstrations, there's
Oh,
all sorts of things going on. So
wow.
we're going to be attending that. So we have a 20-foot by 20-foot booth. So not a huge booth, but big enough that we'll be able to have some fun.
Wow, that's amazing. My kids just had their first flight lesson on a little Cessna
Yeah, I
not
saw
too
that.
long
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, so that's amazing. You know what's crazy is there's all of these events that go on, I'm sure, all over the US, and I don't know about any of them. So I think that's pretty awesome. No, I'm serious. So like,
Yeah.
because I guess when you're not involved in that hobby, you don't know to look out for those things that are happening. But I love that. I think that's pretty cool that you guys are getting out there. So at this event, were you and the House of Rags the only detailing chemical company? Were there? I saw other vendors, but I couldn't really tell what they were. Like, who is there?
There's only one in the detailing space, which is Jack's Wax.
Oh, okay.
And they had a beautiful booth, nice setup. So Jack's Wax, they've been at this event many, many times. So their marketing plan includes events like this. So they have a huge trailer. Like they're really perfectly set up for it. Something that we aspire to get there one day.
Yeah.
But so it's fun seeing that. But no, there's nothing else. There was a lot of people selling merch though. And the company that was set up beside us, it's called Clutch. So
Okay.
clutchsupplyla.com. So if anybody wants to go look it up, they sell merch. They say, their tagline is driven by faith,
Hmm.
but $131 for a hoodie.
What?
Yeah. And baseball caps were like $45. And it's like, wow. Okay. And
And were
I'm
they
worried,
selling? I mean, were people buying these things?
lining up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna
then,
have to look it up now. Clutch.
yeah. Yeah. Clutch Supply LA. But then there was, beside us, the booth on the other side of us, they were selling, I think it was something 47. Anyways, they had hats, they had like straw hats. How much would you pay for a straw hat?
I don't know, $10, $15,
Yeah,
maybe.
try 45.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I get my
Yeah.
straw hats at the grocery store. They have the little stands at the grocery store for like $10, $15 in the summertime.
It's probably the same hat, but sold at an event.
Wow.
There's another company, they're from Florida, called 10 Socket. So anyone who's into mechanics knows that the 10 millimeter socket disappears on a regular basis. It has a mind of its own. It just disappears. And when I was younger, it was the 1/2 inch socket, but no, metric. So now it's 10 millimeters. But anyways, they have a whole line of merch built around the 10 millimeter socket. So it's called
Oh,
10
wow.
Socket. So yeah.
That's
But
pretty awesome.
most of the companies selling stuff there were selling merch.
Okay. Were people wondering why you guys didn't have merch? Did they go to you for merch, or did they realize you were selling chemicals and towels?
No, no one asked us for merch. So, and yes, merch is coming to DIY Detail very
Awesome.
soon. They're ordered here's
Yeah,
one of the
I was
things
gonna
we'll
say,
have.
I
So
see
yeah,
your sweatshirt, and I mean, I've
yeah,
got to have me one of those.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
love it.
they're coming soon. But anyways, the you know, so a lot of merch. There were some specific people selling like tuning turbos, things like that, but they were just there like us, showing what they had, and here's a
Yeah,
coupon code,
yeah,
and that was fine.
yeah.
Oh yes, the $12
Of course.
$12 corn dogs. The hot dogs were $5, but the corn dogs were 12. And one kiosk also had corn dogs, but for $20.
Oh
But you
man.
got you got fries with it. And if you ask them, can I get it without fries? Yes, it's $20.
Well, and Jamie
Everything.
had his kids there, so how many corn dogs did he buy? Probably a lot.
We probably spent about 120, $150 on corn dogs.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah. And so the one stand, everything was $20. That's the only number they knew. So you bought a drink, so a cup of like iced tea or something. It was $20. But
No.
unlimited refills for the day.
Okay. Well, okay.
But the cup was filled with ice, and then they added the liquid to it. So you can
Of course.
imagine, it
Yeah.
looked like a big cup.
Yeah.
And if you're going to one of these events and staying a number of days, every vendor had the same cup. So you paid from one vendor the $20. Some were charging 22, some were charging 25. But anyways, and then for the rest of the event, as they put it, you could free refills. Well, that's not exactly true. It's for the rest of the day.
Oh.
But we found out what the hack was. Every day it's a different color straw. So if you came back, let's say today is the blue day and the day before was the red day for the straw, and you show up with your cup with the red, they'll turn you away saying, "Oh, no, that's from yesterday."
Ah.
And
So
in the
you have
beginning,
to
we
get
were
a hold
like,
of the
how
straw.
did they figure this out? And then noticed, hey, wait a minute, your straw is yellow. Everyone's got a black
Ah.
straw today. Haha. So if you go
Wow.
there, get some multicolored straws and you'll
Yeah,
be able
there
to
you
figure out
go.
which size. Yeah.
I love me a hack that saves me money. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. I'm sure
Yeah.
other people have figured that out by now. If that's something, I wonder if they do
Yeah.
that every year. You know what I
Well,
mean?
but people that go there just one day, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but
So,
multiple, it would be. Yeah.
yeah.
Mike is saying you should have sold bus cheese for $30. I bet that would have
Yeah. At that price, definitely. Yeah.
definitely.
A little square of bus cheese, if you want the
Yeah.
bacon with it, it's 35. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I heard that pink towels and waterless wash were a thing.
yes. So Jamie, all the towels were in bags, right? And then on the second day, he brings out the goat, I believe it is. Anyways, their big pink towel, puts it on the table. It's like a swarm of flies, like they just, what's this pink towel? And then unfortunately, the day before the show ended, Jamie sold the pink towel. Didn't
Oh,
see another soul. So yeah.
and then that was it for your booth. You were done.
No, so
I'm just kidding.
amazingly, people recognized us. So,
Awesome.
selfies, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we did sell some stuff. So we had a coupon code that was there for the event. People get 20% off. And that, I think 20 people use the coupon code. So not too bad.
Yeah.
We definitely did not recoup our costs. But that wasn't the point. The point
Yeah.
is just to get our name out there. So
Yeah. I mean, did you guys bring a lot of inventory? Did you expect on selling a lot, or was this just kind of a
let's just say we were not as organized as we should have been.
okay.
So DIY actually owns a trailer, but that trailer didn't make it. So the trailer full of inventory would have been a good thing. But so when we go to Oshkosh, yes, we will have kits to sell.
Yes. Now you guys are going to get in the groove once you get it. That would be awesome to have like a Thor trailer. Could you imagine? That would be great. Or a Thor plane. I don't know about you guys. How about a Thor DIY plane?
Oh, we have the DIY detail bus. But
Well, that is true. That is
Yes,
true. Is this
it's the right colors.
yeah, there you go. Is this, I mean, obviously Jamie took his kids, which I thought that was awesome. I'm sure they
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Is it a family event? I mean, is this
Yeah, yeah, very much a family event. I don't think his kids enjoyed it that much, but
Oh, maybe not.
it's just long days. Like
Yeah.
one day, Sylvia and I set the booth up at 8 a.m. and we finished around 9 that night. So gives you an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
So they're longer days than SEMA.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Becca says her parents live near Oshkosh.
Oshkosh. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you there, Becca.
That's awesome. I think she lives. Actually, I don't know, Becca. Remind me how far. I know it's a little drive to get to her parents' house, but hey, maybe
Yeah.
she would do that. So would you suggest, is this an event that you would suggest people to go to if they could in their lifetime, or what was your final impression of it? I mean,
yeah, it's a fun event. Like I said, hurry up and wait, meaning that there's like, 2 passes of 2 cars that go down the track, and then you wait for half an hour.
yeah,
And then, oh, there's more cars that show up, and then, bing, 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 and it's 6 to 10 seconds at a time. So it's not a long thing. They go down the track, they do a burnout, they stage, they go down the track. Takes about a minute per series of cars. The fans stand up and applaud and all that fun stuff. And then you wait another half hour while they reset the track. So yeah.
Tanner says, didn't y'all prove a ceramic coating does make a car faster? I mean, I definitely think that car should now have a DIY sticker on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think the coating, I have proven in the past. So I've actually coated cars in the garage at the Indy 500. And the teams after were like, yes, the car weighed 3 pounds less than the other cars because it didn't accumulate all the rubber on it. It didn't, and that less accumulated rubber doesn't screw with the aerodynamics as much. So, there is merit to it. A car with 3,000 horsepower, I doubt a coating is going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah, those cars are pretty darn powerful. I'm still, I had no idea that they're street legal. That to me is,
the parentheses there are very important. In the street legal part. They all have license plates on them. That's as far as I go. But
so they're
I didn't see many driving to the track.
Yeah, I bet.
And no wipers, no windows, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah. So then are people able to, you have these cars and they're winning these races. Are they then, coming off of the track and people are able to kind of walk around these cars and meet the drivers?
So
that whole experience?
Exactly. Yeah. So the pits are open to the public.
Oh, okay.
So, you can wander around, say hi to the drivers if you can find them, et cetera, et cetera. But it was like, I did on one of the channels, I don't know if it's DIY, my own or Thor's, but anyways, I took a bicycle ride around the complex. And in that bicycle ride, you could see, the cars are just parked there, but there's no one around them because they're off watching the other people racing or, commiserating with someone else or hanging out in the trailer, in the air-conditioned trailer, because for some people, they found it warm out. It was only around, 85, 90 degrees. So it was just nice. But yeah.
So while James,
I took my hoodie off the last day. Yeah.
Did you? Okay. I was going to say, I
it was
almost
over 90, so I took the hoodie off.
But he's used to that kind of heat, right? I mean, Jamie's from the swamp, so I'm sure that was no thing for him. Yeah, it's getting a little too warm for my liking these days. How is it in Omaha right now? You're in a sweatshirt, so I don't know.
It's about 35 degrees outside.
Oh, is it that cold?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay.
But it's supposed to be back up to 80 by Wednesday. So
okay. This weather is crazy. It looked like nice weather while you guys were there.
Yeah, it's sunny but cold.
Sunny. Well, at the racetrack?
Oh, no, at the racetrack, the first day we were freezing. So
and then you got hot. Huh.
Yeah. Well, I got comfortable. Everyone else got hot.
I like I said, never heard of the event, but it looks like a good time. I mean, anytime there's racing going on, it's such an exhilarating environment, even if it is for a quick few seconds. That's cool that the pit was open to the public, and the races that I used to go to back in the day, you either had to pay extra for a wristband or you could only go in the pit if you knew somebody who was actually racing on the track.
Yeah.
So that seems exciting. So how many people did you say were there? About
40,000 or so. Yeah.
Did it feel, I mean, was it a spread out event or could you tell that it was a kind of
It's spread out, but you could tell there were a lot of people there. Like on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the aisles were full of people. So
yeah. So were a lot of people coming to the booth inquiring about what DIY or Thor was? I mean, did you get many people who were really interested in products? Are people there interested in chemicals, or are they more just there like
a little bit, yeah,
in the races?
They were there for the races, obviously, and they were there for the races and the merch. We were in a sideshow, but the people that were interested, had some good conversations. So it was a good thing, and people saw the brands. So at the same time, the next time they're going on the internet, oh, I saw these guys at TX2K. So
yeah, maybe you gained another subscriber or two.
Oh, I'm sure we did.
Which is awesome. I mean, right? So when is the Oshkosh? How much? I mean, I feel like you guys are just traveling all over the place.
We don't travel that much. Let's say January, Australia, Florida, then Louisiana, Texas. We're in here this week. Next week, we're here as well. After that, Sylvie and I go to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for training there at Obsessed Car Detail and at OCD. And then we go to Carzilla for a couple days. Then we go to Red Deer, Alberta for another training. Then we'll be in Toronto and then back to Montreal by mid-April. So, yeah.
Wow. So no, you're not traveling at all. Just,
this year, other than the flight to Australia, this trip, we will have only put about 12,000 miles on the bus. So
only. Oh my gosh, you make me laugh, Yvan. Okay.
Not much.
And so I'm guessing you guys will do the same for this am I saying it right? Oshkosh?
Oshkosh. Yeah.
Oshkosh. Every time
like the children's clothing.
I was just gonna say, I'm just thinking about the little overalls, Oshkosh.
Yeah, same city that they're made in. So yeah.
So I'm sure you guys will do lives and everything from there as well and show everybody what that event is all about, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, you guys, I am going to be honest with you, because this was an impromptu live. I didn't really have questions set up. So Yvan and I are really just winging this tonight, if you guys can't tell. So if anybody has any questions, we talked about maybe turning it into a Q&A. So if anybody has questions about the event or questions that you want to drop for Yvan, please start dropping them in the chat. I know that the topic tonight that I was going to have with Conway was about all things paint restoration. So we can still talk a little bit about that.
I had body shops too. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah. We were also going to talk about SOPs as a topic, just because as I was talking with Conway, I feel like that's something, or it's a topic that people say like, yes, I have an SOP, but nobody really talks about how they come up with one, especially as a beginner. And so I thought maybe we could talk about that maybe for a little bit as well. I know that is something that I am struggling with, because
it's something I'm passionate about. So
something as a beginner, when you're really trying to figure it out, how do you know what is most efficient? How do you know when something needs to change? It has really been kind of a sore spot for me, which is why I wanted it to be a topic of conversation. So I do see some questions. So let's get some questions in. And then I think if everybody is okay with it, if you're okay with it, SOPs is where I want to go with it. So let's see. Question: what is Yvan's favorite video he did for DIY?
The barn find. That was a fun one to do because we had planned it as a fake barn find. It was 100% fake barn find, but we filmed the making of a barn find at the same time. So the first video we released was finding the car. The second video we released in the series was, detailing it, coating it, all that fun stuff. Then the third video we released was, this is how we made it a barn find.
I'm always very intrigued by barn finds because sometimes I'm like, did that person really just have that in this random barn for 60 years? You know, is that?
There's
I
some
wonder.
channels, WD Detailing.
Yes,
Okay.
that's one that I'm speaking of.
Yeah,
Actually.
those I've met them. Those are legitimate. There are other ones on the internet that they're slightly faked.
Mm,
There's one guy that lives in a community that is a farming community. In a 50-mile radius around his place, there might be 10,000 people. He's
yeah.
been doing barn find and disaster details for 10 years now on the internet. Where he's getting all these cars, I think some of them he has to make. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It makes sense. There are only
yeah,
so many barns in America anyway, when I think
yeah,
about it, right?
yeah. And the barn find or disaster detail genre,
Yeah.
the people that do them, they don't see themselves as detailing channels for the most part. They see
Oh,
themselves as entertainment channels.
okay. Huh. So Detail Geek Entertainment.
Yes.
I used to like him, but I don't watch him much anymore. But I used to think those were like huge disaster details. And then I really started to kind of see,
Yeah. And the
you
other
know,
thing is, when you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's like,
yeah.
the old Orange County Choppers. I forget what the name of the show
Oh,
was,
yeah.
but they
Orange
have an
County.
impossible deadline. The father yells at the son yells at the father, walks out, they
Yeah.
reconcile, they get the bike done 5 minutes before the customer shows up. Customer
Yeah.
smiles, pays them the money, and you've seen one, you've seen them all. So yeah.
Yeah. I actually used to really love that show too. um, so somebody's asking, are you in Omaha for a film session?
Yes. So starting, Nick arrives Wednesday. Well, he arrives tomorrow night, but like at midnight. So we start
Yeah.
filming Wednesday morning. So if you have any suggestions, if you go to our YouTube channel and/or our Instagram, we put a post up asking for video suggestions. So we're always open. We're always listening.
Yeah. And Nick has been, if I don't know if anybody has followed his journey, but Nick has been in Bali, which what an amazing trip to take. So,
Yeah.
But he's back home now.
Yes. For a day and
So,
then flying out here.
and then flying. Ivan, how did you become so passionate about detailing?
The customers. So the detail, I've always been a car guy, first and foremost. I got into detailing because it was a profitable business venture. That's how I started, and then fell in love with the customers' reactions.
Mm, I love that. We got people talking about, did Nick get the maggots out yet?
No.
Yeah, that's still wild to me. I don't
Yeah.
know. I plead the fifth. No comment. No comment.
Yeah,
there.
I could make a lot of comments and I won't. We'll
I
just
won't. I
leave it
won't
at that.
either.
Just say
He's working on it.
gasoline. Yeah, match and gasoline might probably be the best solution at this
That's
point.
exactly what I was going to
Or
say. Yeah.
hire a detailer.
Ivan, you want to take a crack at it?
No.
No.
So if someone showed up with that at our shop, we would turn them away.
Oh,
There are things that it's like, no, I don't have to stoop to that level. A,
yeah.
B, I don't want to infest my shop with that, and I'm not going to put an employee through that. So no, go somewhere else. And at this point, it's disaster remediation. It should take some of the proper PPE, take the car apart, find all the maggots, kill them, get rid of them, and then put the car up for sale afterwards because you'll find more later.
Keith said, call Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poor Carlos. Yeah. I think Carlos is done with disaster details too.
Yeah, I think he might be. Well, I don't know about disaster, but I think Carlos is changing some things up too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Does DIY have any releases coming this year? Anything new? I mean, you just dropped some new
coatings. Yeah. We should have 5 or 6, depending on the stability testing and all that. But yeah, we have numerous things. So we have some, we have some type 2s, type 3s coming, but we also have some brand new products. So
Oh my goodness. So stay tuned. Well,
Yes.
that's exciting. That's very exciting to hear. Now I'm going to be thinking about what could they be? We're going to put a
Hmm.
poll. What do you think DIY's new products are? Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ivan, talk about your steps in addressing oxidized paint. This is also a very good topic. I think I have talked to you about this before, Ivan. My daughter has very oxidized paint on her hood. The
Yep.
steps to take, I'm still very nervous to take them. So yes, let's
So
talk.
yeah, super easy. Wash the car first and foremost. Get any standing dirt off of it. Then what I've used for the past 40 some years, and it was common knowledge 40 years ago. Now it seems like, what are they doing there? This new thing. It's not new. Take a non-scuff dish pad and all clean. It used to be we used Comet, but we've evolved. But a non-scuff dish pad with all clean, and that knocks the dead cells off. So think of it as a really deep exfoliation.
Yes.
Then from there, you polish as normal. There's a lot of people that they will either wet sand, which is not necessarily taking away the oxidation, but it's also taking away good paint,
Mm,
or they will just start polishing. And on gel coat, if you just start compounding or polishing, same thing on paint that's oxidized. So gel coat and paint are very close. They're both plastics. But
okay.
once you start polishing, you're creating heat, you're mixing the polishing oils with the oxidation, and you end up with a surface that looks shiny. But
Okay.
in reality, you don't necessarily have a solid surface, and you'll get like bounce back or die back where you'll get splotchiness in a week or two because you haven't removed the oxidation, you just glazed it over.
Hmm.
And back in the day, we used to use McGuire's number 7, which was just an oily mess, but that would basically hide the oxidation in a layer of oil. For those that didn't have McGuire's number 7, they used transmission fluid and
Mm,
did the same thing.
wow.
And apparently we were nourishing the paint, but no, we weren't. We were just making an oily mess.
Yeah, it's one of those things for me, and I don't know how anybody else feels in the chat right now, but I know it seems so simple, like a really simple process, but I am such a visual person that I can hear it and maybe I can see it happen on a video, but I really wish, Ivan, that your bus would pull up and you could really show me, lead by example.
Yeah, yeah,
Again,
because we have 3 or 4 videos on the channel now about that. So we
yeah,
had the one
yeah,
we
you
we
do.
did with Josh V on his
Yeah,
red truck,
yeah,
and then the other one we did. I think it premiered last week or 2 weeks ago. A white Nissan Versa that was just chalky white, and
yeah.
then we're desperately looking for a chalky boat to do. So,
Oh, okay.
but
Oh,
one that fits in the studio, so it has to be
yeah,
less than 20 feet long.
yeah,
That's the problem. Yeah.
yeah. I've definitely seen some oxidized boats in my life. That is for sure. Um,
Yep.
yeah, don't Ivan will pull up. For me, I guess I keep telling myself, I mean, it can't look much worse, or can it? Can I make it look worse? I don't know.
No,
I don't think I can, but
no. With the non-scuff dish pad and the all clean, you're not going to make anything worse. All you're doing is removing that oxidation.
yeah. Okay. One of these days I'm getting out there and I'm doing it. I swear.
Yeah. I can
Uh,
coach you over the internet.
that might
Just set me up on a tripod and
there you go.
yeah.
I might take you up on that, Ivan. Absolutely. Becca is asking when or is the new green brush coming soon?
We're probably 8 to 10 months away on
Oh,
the revamped green brush. The only thing that's going to be changing is the handle, though. The bristles are not changing. So
okay.
yeah,
Okay. Well, can you divulge how the handle is changing, or you want to wait on that?
it's just going to black instead of the
Oh,
beige with a DIY detail imprint in it. But
okay.
it's just branding that's changing. The actual brush itself is not changing.
Okay. Can I ask then if it's just a simple change, why such a long wait time until that happens, or
The molds, the
the
dye, the transport, and going through our existing inventory as well.
okay, that makes sense.
So the factory that we use in Taiwan to make our brushes, Once we decided the brush, they're a very proactive factory, meaning that if we order 5,000, they build 10,000. So the
Oh,
next time we order 5,000, they're not caught short. They can just put it in a container and send it.
very good.
So we have to, knowing now we have to burn through those extra numbers that
Yeah,
they built for us, which is fine.
yeah, makes sense.
It's not going to change the functionality of the brush in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, I really like that brush actually, so I'm glad it's not changing. Two-part question here from Chingy. Is app with DIY red jeweling pad abrasive enough to remove a common sealant?
No.
Okay.
And what's the second part of the question?
Second part is,
Okay.
is app compatible with the majority of coatings, or is it possible that dependent on the coating formulation to have bonding issues, in particular
So
with spray coatings?
yeah, 100% compatible with every coating because it leaves nothing on the surface. The primer polishes that exist, like Dr. Beasley's and Car Pro and a few others, they leave something proprietary on the surface that is meant to help their coatings bond. It may help another brand's coating or it may interfere with it. Where
Okay.
with us, all we're doing is opening up the paint, making it accept any coating better.
Okay. David is asking, Ivan, I mean this with the utmost respect. How do you explain to someone who may have purchased a lot of the T2 coatings and then shortly after all of these new T3 coatings come out? So I guess he's asking, how do you explain why all of a sudden there's a difference or why there's something new? Hopefully, David.
So when Ford puts out the 2027 Mustang, it doesn't make the 2026 Mustang obsolete. So yes, we're always evolving. We're trying to get better, and especially coatings, it's a fast evolving technology. Therefore, and we, because of the price of the coatings, we can afford to put more R&D into the coatings. So that's why they move quickly. But the type 2 coatings you have are not bad coatings. They're still great coatings. Use them up. Don't worry about the type 3 coatings. When you're out of the type 2, then purchase the type 3.
Okay. Type 2 are still amazing coatings.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. We have, why should you buy the windshield sealant over just using the 1-year coating?
So the 1-year coating is a great option for the windshield, and he's talking about a product that's coming out soon, which is our glass sealant. So the Envy glass sealant. The Envy glass sealant is for someone that every month put it on your windshield. It's fun. It's easy to use. It's inexpensive. It's just, or as a professional, your customer doesn't want to pay for a coating, but you want to give them a taste of what a coating could do on the glass. So throw the sealant in when you do a wash or a maintenance wash, and it's just a nice gift to the customer that isn't costing you a lot of money, isn't taking any more time than just drying the windshield. And then from there, you can show the customer what it is. But think of our sealant as competing with Aquapel or Rain-X. We're not competing with coatings with that.
Okay. We have, look at Sam here.
Yeah.
I have a type 3 to 5 year, type 3, sorry, 5-year coating. Can we give it away? I'll ship it ASAP. I promise it's new. I just can't use it. Sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
Sam, if I read that correctly, you want to do a giveaway. Okay.
Yes. Amazing, Sam. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I love that. We have a suggestion or just a comment. I think the 1-year coating should come in a small size too, around 30 milliliters, $30.
Unfortunately, the economies of scale aren't there to do that. But if you look at most of the 1-year coatings on the market, they're in the 90 to 200 milliliter range. We're somewhere in the middle at 120. And once you use it, you'll find out just how fun it is to use and how simple it is to use that you'll want to coat everything in your life. So
yeah, I mean, looking at you guys putting on that 1-year coating, so it is a spray coating, but you still use an applicator.
So you can use it many different ways. You can spray it into a towel and just apply it that way. You can spray it onto an applicator and apply it that way, but we also include the dropper insert. And the dropper insert actually makes it more economical because you're not vaporizing any of it, you're not losing any of it, and it makes the leveling time longer. So when you're applying it with an applicator and the dropper, basically you can apply it to the whole car before starting to level.
and then come back.
Yeah,
But
so a lot more efficient.
does any one of them though bond differently, or is the bond no matter what still going to be the same?
The bond is the same, the durability is different. So
Okay.
when applied like a traditional coating, you're going to get more than a year from it. That is the best way.
Okay.
Applying it like spraying it into a towel and rubbing it into the surface, that's going to get you the least amount of durability. The
Hmm.
difference isn't, it's not like 1 year versus 5 years, but still, the best durability is applied with an applicator. The less durability is applied with a towel,
Okay. Interesting.
but
Um,
both fun and effective.
yes, definitely. We have a question about your beard.
Yes.
It says, do you use product or is it shaped naturally?
No product, but it's trimmed every 3 or 4 days to stay this shape. So yes.
I love it. We have another question about your first vehicle. What was it?
My first vehicle was a 1984 Camaro. Bought brand new. So
what color was it?
the worst color ever for a car. White.
White.
It was my first and last white car.
Okay. What
Yeah.
don't you like about white cars?
First of all, polishing them, you can't see what you're doing. So I had one white car. I had 35 or 40 black cars. So yeah, it gives you an idea which one I prefer.
Nice. I love it. Okay. And then somebody would like to know, are you going to be on the East Coast anytime soon?
I was there a couple of months ago. I was there a month ago, but yeah, I go around in a loop around North America. So I'll be back eventually.
I'll be back. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's up, Jelena? She has a question. She says, Ivan, I just started using Clean and Protect, and I'm shocked with the cleaning ability. Do you recommend your interior ceramic once a year?
The interior ceramic on the driver's seat, steering wheel, once a year. The rest of the car, probably 5-10 years.
Okay.
And yes, the name is Clean and Protect. A lot of people think it's a protectant for the interior. It is first and foremost a cleaner. Then, yes, it has anti-UV and dust attraction properties, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's not an interior dressing.
Okay.
I'm happy to see you're back, Jelena.
Yes. Let's see. I think
the duck pond is thawed.
Yes. Winter's over, and I believe she's been at school.
Yeah.
She's had some other things going. I won't say it online. She might drop it.
Life happens.
Yeah, she's had some life happen. So yeah. Do you have any Oregon or Washington trips planned?
Those are the only 2 U.S. states in the lower 48 I haven't been to.
Like ever?
Ever. So if someone wants to organize a training in that area, I'll be very close in the next 3 weeks. Being in Calgary, Alberta, I mean, it's only about 10 hours to get to Washington State, so it's not far.
Wow. Okay. And really in all states?
All the lower 48, those are the only 2 I haven't been to. Because we don't travel to go to places, we travel to meet people. And no one has ever wanted a training in that area.
Yeah. So. Huh. Interesting. How many cars can you do with a bottle of hydrate?
2 to 2.5, 3, depending on the size of the vehicle and the person applying it.
Okay. This kind of brings me to a comment I want to make, because I know this has kind of been something that's been talked about recently. And I know you're probably going to say less is more, but when you have a coating, you might know where I'm going with this,
No.
Okay, maybe not. When you have a coating, do you recommend trying to stretch that bottle as much as you can because less is more? Or would you suggest maybe laying it on a little thicker and not trying to stretch a bottle? Or is that just completely subjective and up to the person who's paying for it?
Yeah, milk it for all it's worth.
Okay.
Basically, putting it on thick is just wasting product. You're not getting anything more from it. You're not leaving. Basically, all you're doing is loading up your leveling towels faster and more.
Okay. But what about this whole idea between high spots versus low spots. Now I'm hearing a lot about low spots. Wouldn't that be maybe not applying it?
No,
Oh,
the low spot thing, I don't know where that came from, and
okay.
I hope it goes away just as fast as it showed up.
So
Basically,
it's not a thing, or is it?
I've never heard, I've been applying coatings for almost 30 years, and I'd never heard of a low spot up until about 2 months ago when somebody
Okay.
asked me, how do we get a low spot? It's like, if you apply the coating to the whole surface, you're not going to get a low spot.
Okay. Hmm.
But where people have issues with coatings, we'll say failing, right?
Yes.
First of all, prep. Secondly, in the application process, and this is something I've experienced firsthand twice on my own cars, and that is not properly leveling. So
Hmm.
you may think that, like our coatings, especially the type 3 coatings, they basically almost disappear into the surface. So you're not, you can walk away from the car without leveling it. But if you don't level it, it's not going to be hydrophobic. So the
Ah,
leveling is part of the coating aspect. And so the Jeep that Sylvie and I had before, that vehicle on the back door, and we're filming a video. We had just coated like 2 weeks before. We had Pan, Keeve, Fab Automotive Detailing, and Rick from Rag Garage here
hmm.
spraying the car down, looking at they're all looking at the hydrophobics, and then there's this square in the back door with zero hydrophobics. And it's like, what the hell happened there? So we looked back over the footage because we recorded like 2 weeks before, and the coating was applied there, but it wasn't leveled. So there was a
Mm,
square that wasn't leveled. And then
okay.
on the car that we have now, I filmed a video with another content creator in Quebec in French. So no one here has probably seen it. But anyways, I applied the coating, he leveled, and one half of the roof he didn't level. Again, no high spots, but that one half of the roof does not bead water.
Okay. All
The
right.
coating is there. We have proof that it's there, but it's, yes, it does bead water, but there's a dramatic difference between one
Difference.
side and
Yeah.
the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
leveling.
leveling is important.
Leveling is a big deal.
And, the prep, the other thing is I've seen videos where everything on the car is perfect except for one part that is quote unquote failed. Well,
Mm,
that one part could have been repainted, and also paint reacts differently. Like in you got your Jeep, right?
yes.
The plastic pieces on your Jeep are not painted in the same factory as the metal pieces. So the car itself, the major structure of the vehicle is painted in one factory. The bumpers, the door handles, the little spoiler above the hatch,
Mm,
all that arrives from another factory pre-painted. That's why they don't match. So if you look at your front bumper and your fenders, the color doesn't match. It might
okay.
be close, but
Hmm.
if you've never seen it before, I'm sorry, but they don't match.
Now I
Uh,
can really look. Thanks, Ivan.
yeah. So when I own my body shops, that's something we dealt with every day
Hmm.
because we did a lot of bumper repair, and customers would come in and say, "Oh, it doesn't match." And it's like, well, we didn't paint that part of your bumper. We only did, the centerpiece where you hit the pole or whatever. But
Hmm.
we rarely painted a whole bumper. We did spot repairs. And the customer was adamant that no, like it matched before. I said, come look at your back bumper. Oh, that doesn't match either. Exactly. When you're
Yeah.
critical, you'll see it. When you're not critical, you don't
No.
notice it.
Yeah.
But they're sprayed in a different factory. They may not even be using the same brand of paint. So, as an example, Toyota has one of their silver colors. They have 11 variants for that color.
Wow.
So, meaning that as a body shop, I might have to do 11 paint outs to figure out which one is closest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I feel like having so many variants, like why make things so difficult? You would think you would stick with one or two and everybody uses the same thing. I don't know.
No, it's because the car in question is a Corolla, and the Corolla, they make it in 8 different factories,
Yeah.
or I don't know how many, but it's made in a lot of different factories. And the body that's made in Osaka, Japan, the bumper might come from Tokyo. or the one that's assembled in Georgia, the bumper might come from California. Who knows?
You
Or the
never.
one that's assembled in Mexico, the bumpers might come from Guatemala.
Yeah.
It's really that disparate.
Yeah.
So, and they're all given a sample. So they're all given, a little card to say, okay, this is what the color is supposed to be. And then they match close to that. And as long as they're within the parameters, it's a go. So
Hmm.
if you, especially a pearl white car, so the car with the pearlescent in it,
Yes. Yes.
the bumpers rarely match on those. Like,
Hmm.
but you can see it from a mile away that they don't match. So
Yeah. I'm gonna keep an eye out for this now.
yeah.
Except put that in here because once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the
Yes.
problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I just tagged a few more questions. Let me make sure. We have in Edmonton where Big A lives. I'm curious how hydrate will work. Obviously, I'm guessing because of the weather. I know right now poor Adalmo's still shoveling snow.
Yes. Works just fine. I've applied it in, we did one in December with a snowstorm outside. And as soon as we were done applying it, they drove 3 hours home. So
Okay.
not an issue.
So now Bobby has said, Ivan mentioned that you can over level a coating too, sometimes causing issues. Under level, over level.
I've never had an issue with over leveling, but I've never done over leveling either. But yeah, if you're, rubbing on it while it's not cured, definitely.
Yeah.
So basically, leveling should be an easy thing that's effortless. Go over it with the one towel, go over it with the second towel. And also, very important, the right towel choice. So at the House of Rags, they've made it easy for you. They call it the level one. In other words, this is the first one you use to level. It's, sort of an easy thing to understand. And then they have the final level. Guess what that one's for? Yeah. So
Snot
just
Rocket science.
follow the names on the towels. Like Will, he applied the hydrate to his Toyota 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he had a bear of a time leveling it. He was using a Freebird 400 to level. It's, when I saw that, it's like, no wonder you had problems leveling.
Yeah.
And then he, this week on his channel, he did a coating on another vehicle, same bottle. And it's like, oh, I'm using the level one now. And guess what? It's easy to level. So yes.
Yes, it makes a difference.
Towel choice does make a difference. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Difficult says, Ivan, I'm in Miami and would love to ceramic coat my car, but I have no garage. Which coating do you recommend to use outdoors in the Miami humidity?
Any of the DIY detail coatings. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of mobile detailers using them around the world in every temperature and every humidity without any issues in direct sunlight.
Perfect. And I mean, again, you coated, what was it called? The Snot Rocket.
Yes.
And it did seem that you guys were over, or you were under a little tent
canopy. Yeah, but the back end of the vehicle. Yeah, and the back end of the vehicle, which was black carbon fiber, that was in direct sunlight. And I coated that without an issue.
Seemed to work fine. So here we go. Another question. What's the coldest temp you can apply hydrate or the 1 year?
50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. Okay. And that's for any coating, never mind ours.
Yeah.
Just don't try putting a coating on when it's too cold.
So what happens? Is it just it doesn't bond properly?
Doesn't cure properly, therefore doesn't bond properly. Okay. So the cross-linking process is disturbed. So it doesn't cross-link to the paint below it, and it doesn't cross-link to itself properly.
Okay. We have a question from Ghost here. Ivan, does it bother you much when someone is clearly using the product wrong or applying it wrong? Like the example you gave with Will, when they post it online and then act like it's the coating's fault.
It doesn't bother me. It's just a matter of education. And you'll notice that anyone who uses a DIY product in their videos, I'm there to answer questions. Yes. So, that's something I've always done and will continue to do. Even if they're bashing the product, I'm still going to answer people's questions because someone might have a legitimate question that they're concerned about. So.
Yeah. You answer them and you answer them respectfully, like a boss. I love it. And apparently sometimes I'm short in my answers, but anyways,
no, it's just who I am. I'm verbiloquent. So it's something I've always been.
I appreciate it. I think we have gotten, and look, we're at 55 minutes now. I think I've gotten all the questions, but I do want to post this comment here, which I kind of like. So we were talking about SOPs, and Chris says, I feel like a laminated poster would be a cool garage shop item, something you can use a dry erase on and check off as you go. What do you think about that, Ivan?
Yeah. So for SOPs, the easiest way to make an SOP, and you're halfway there, Christy, is to record yourself.
Okay.
So record yourself doing a detail, and then the recording's the easy part. You have to sit down and actually watch it. And the watching part, ideally watch it with someone who's never detailed before. And they're
Okay.
going to ask you questions that you may not think of. So like, why are you using that brush on the wheels? Why, and do it with like a 12-year-old that's very inquisitive. So,
Okay.
uh,
I have one of those.
yeah, okay, yeah. Between 8 and 12 years old, that's perfect. But, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And you'll see yourself when you actually see yourself doing something. It's like, let's say cleaning an interior. Why did I get out of the car 16 times while doing the driver's area?
Yeah.
And that will really reflect what your SOP. And a lot of people think an SOP can fit on a sheet of paper. It can't. To us, like in our shops, the SOP for washing a car was 28 pages long.
Are you serious?
Yes. The reason for that is very simple. So we had visual and also written instructions.
Okay.
But basically you take a 10-year-old off the street that's never, this is for a professional detailing shop, but for your home shop could be the same thing. You take a 10-year-old off the street that's never detailed a car before, but they can read. You give them the SOP, and every time they have to think or ask a question, there's something wrong with your SOP. They should be able to follow the SOP to the letter and get the job done properly. Meaning that, it's like fill the bucket. Okay. What do I fill the bucket with? How high do I fill the bucket? Do I put the soap in first? Do I put the soap in second? Where do I find the soap? What is the soap? What does the soap bottle look like? Basically, you take someone that knows nothing, and every time they have to ask a question, there's something wrong with your SOP.
Then you need to make it more clear in that area.
Yeah. So there are companies that will go in and do an SOP for you for your business. They will generally charge between $30,000 and $60,000 for an SOP, and it'll take them about 6 months.
I tried I've tried a few with ChatGPT, but the problem is, they give you something, but I don't know what to look for me to say that works or that, you know what I mean? Like I'm still learning. And I can tell you, I just did a detail, what was it, last weekend now. It took me 4 hours. Yeah. Interior and exterior. Mind you, there was gum. If I would have known how much gum was stuck in the interior of this car, I probably would have said no.
So next time you're dealing with gum, an ice cube is your best friend. Okay.
So I did do the ice cube thing. I did. Yeah. But it was stuck in just like the tiniest of crevices, thank God for the New York, the Kings, the kit that they had, because I was using a lot of those things. The picks and things, although I do have one, not a complaint, but they broke really easy. So I needed something sturdier. You know what I mean? They did have toothpicks. A lot of their things were just really weak. So anyway, but I was thinking to myself, these are the types of things that, because it caused me to just kind of lose my mind, and I ended up going in and out, and I was all over the place, and it just, you know what I mean? It made me so anxious, because for the first, however much long I spent on it, I was having such an issue, and it just threw me off for the rest of the detail. So those are the types of things where I'm like, I really need to learn how to problem solve in that instance without, you know what I mean, losing focus.
And one thing that detailers need to realize, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that the customer allowed gum to get in everywhere where it shouldn't have been, right?
Yeah.
And when you're faced with something like that, you can charge accordingly.
Yeah.
So it's outside of the realm of normal detailing. Yes. We mentioned Nick with his little friends in the back of his car. Same deal. That's outside of the the normal detail, therefore it's more. Or I've seen many detailers that they're confronted with pet hair. Okay, they go out of their way to get every last little stitch of pet hair out of the car. The customer comes to pick the car up, opens the door, and the dog jumps back in.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with pet hair, the best advice I can give you is ask the customer, is the dog going back in the car? If
Mm,
the answer is yes, then just tell the customer, I'm not going to spend 6 hours getting every last bit of dog hair out of your interior. I'll do I'll do what I can within this time frame, and we're good. And most people are great with that. It's
okay
like,
with
yeah, the
that.
dog's going back in there. Don't worry about it. Uh, but
I
if it's
never
someone
thought
that,
about that. Ever have
yeah,
I thought about that before?
right. So it's a simple thing. And when you're dealing
Okay.
with dog hair, interior clean and protect, spray it on, mist it on. You don't want to get it wet. You just want to mist it on, let it dwell there as you're cleaning the outside of the vehicle. When you get to that area, the anti-static properties of it have now made the hair a lot easier to get off the
Mm,
surface.
okay. Good advice. Very good advice. Somebody who is Ivan, throw the sign with the code. So that's Jamie saying Ivan dropped the code. I'm not sure if I know what we're talking about here. Is the
The
code
code is
still
Christy
or
10.
is that what it is? I don't think that that's what they're talking about. It's
Oh,
Kristen is my
well,
code, but I think they're
the
talking about
code for the drag race on the weekend is no longer valid, so it
oh,
doesn't matter. Yeah,
no longer valid, guys. Sorry.
yeah, it was just yesterday or just
Okay.
during the time of the drag racing. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, Keith is saying the 20 off.
yeah. So that was just
Yeah.
during the drag racing for the people that were there. Basically,
Yeah.
it was a way for us to track if we got any sales from it or not.
Oh, okay. So null and
Yeah,
void. My
yeah,
code, Chris 10
yes.
works.
Is
It's on the screen.
still active on
Still
both
active.
Thor and DIY details. So yes,
There you go. It's still there.
yeah,
Yes, Chris 10 is a pretty good code. I have to
yes.
say so myself.
It's easy to remember. It's just
Yeah,
nice
there you
and simple. 6 letters,
there you
6 digits. Yeah, you're good.
There you go. Not to mention, you guys, as you see, and sorry, I should have had this ticker going all along. I'm kind of harebrained tonight, but 80% still off spring clearance on the House of Rags. Not to
Up to
mention
80%,
up
not
to
everything.
80%.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. Up to 80. And I do have that here, up to 80. That was my misread. And then Odin V2 has dropped. If you guys watched Josh's opening, Odin V2 was put on Chingy's vehicle, the first car to ever receive the coating, which was pretty cool to watch. But that is now live on the site, so please get yours today. Ivan, I am so excited again that you were able to come on, and I swear, and somebody just said it in the chat, no matter what, I learned something new every single time I hear you speak. It
So do
never
I.
fails. It never fails. I'm like, how did this man he drops so much knowledge, and it always seems like something new. So again, I appreciate you coming on such short notice. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Conway will be on in weeks to come, so we will continue with that podcast when he's ready. But anyway, thank you, Ivan, for coming on. And
Thanks for having me.
With that, you guys have a great night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.